everyone! So today I'm going to be doing my Belle talk on Grey's Anatomy. I'm sure most of you guys have seen it before. If not, I will try not to give a lot of spoilers in this presentation. It is a medical TV drama series on ABC. The primary office workspace is the hospital, Grace Sloan Memorial Hospital. Within this show, there's a lot of political, social, and personal issues that take place, so it's really important to have strong management positions and leadership roles. I'm going to look at a couple topics we discussed in class. There's a ton of different things you could pull from this show. Every single episode you'll see something new, and it actually related a lot to this class. But the things I'm going to talk about today: top-down hierarchy, Goleman's 6 leadership styles, the discipline of teams, emotional intelligence, and selectively revealing your weaknesses. So to start out, Grey's Anatomy's hierarchy system is top-down method, and you can see this from the very first episode, the pilot episode, where the surgical interns are the bottom of the food chain. They're constantly being told what to do and ordered around, and they don't really interact with any of the higher up positions. So the attendings and the board members, they would never interact with any of them. They just get told specifically what to do. One of the issues with the show, because as we all know, top-down hierarchy, it does kind of make the employees feel a little inferior and not important, not valued. They don't feel like they can talk to their managers. It's not really an ideal situation for a lot of workers today, but that is how hospitals are ran. It's a little bit different than a traditional office because their main goal is to save lives, and it has to be run a specific way, and this is the best way for a hospital to be ran. So interns and residents are kind of on the same page, where they're just, you'll hear in the show, like, you cover the pit, you do all this stuff. Basically everything that you don't want to do, but it is a learning experience. So it's very important for them to learn from the attendings and learn from all the surgeons. So it is kind of a necessity for this setting. The next thing we're going to talk about is Goleman's leadership styles. You guys should be familiar with this because we did do a discussion question in class, basically saying what your leadership style is. There's a lot of different leaders amongst the show. Cohesive style, it would be Alex Karev. He fits this style perfectly because within this leadership style, you have to be adaptable and open to change and basically tackle any challenge that is given to you. Alex has many struggles and challenges placed on him, but he always perseveres and he always gets it done. Next style is authoritative style, and this would be, no surprise, Miranda Bailey. She's known in the earlier seasons that she orders people around. That's what she does. You should fear her. You should be scared of her. She's that person that you don't want to mess with. She has a clear vision of getting things done and expects you to do it to your best and expects it to be done the right way. The next is affiliative style, and this definitely Arizona Robbins. She's that friendly face. She works in pediatrics, and she's constantly encouraging the new residents. She's very warm and friendly, and she always is willing to share her personal experiences to help others grow. And she's very trusting. If anyone has a problem, they would always seem to go to Arizona, and she was very empathetic to everyone. Next leadership style would be democratic, and this would be Jackson Avery. He has a lot of different styles, honestly, but I think democratic is one that really suits him well. He is on the board of the hospital, and that makes him, order people around. He can do whatever he wants. He really does encourage teamwork, and he likes working in teams and figuring out solutions, but at the end of the day, he is the one that makes the final say. The next leadership style would be the pace-setting style, which suits Meredith Grey. Again, with Jackson Avery, she does have a lot of different styles incorporated into her character, but from the very beginning, the first season, you'll see she's the pace-setting one. She always strives to do the best she can. She doesn't let anyone get in her way. Things for herself to better herself, to advance herself in her career before doing anything else for anyone else. So she's always the person that people strive to be. They look up to her. She's a great leader. The next leadership style would be the coaching style, and Richard Weber is a perfect example for this. He's very straightforward, but also very encouraging and relatable to a lot of different employees there. He believes in second chances, which is really big for the coaching style. He will never criticize you. He will just say that was a learning experience, and you should do better, but always in a supportive and coaching way. Next topic we're going to talk about is the discipline of teams, and this was an article that we read in one of our books. We did have another discussion question on this, but I thought it really suited Grey's Anatomy perfectly. Discipline of teams is making sure that your team has a meaningful and common purpose and a specific goal in mind, which Grey's Anatomy every episode does. The mission statement, you could call it, would be saving people's lives, doing everything you can for them. That forms a strong commitment, and they have a specific way they need to do. They need to scrub in every time. They need to have multiple people around doing their own job specific thing, which has mutual and individual accountability. In the ER, you'll see 8 different people all on the patient doing their own thing, saying, well, if you do this thing, then I need to do this first. This is more important. And they all do their own job. They're all accountable, but they're working as a team perfectly. Building team performance. So a couple of these we can name is establishing urgency. They're always like, we need to get this done quickly, move as fast as you can. They always have the skill potential. It doesn't matter who they are, what their outside circumstances are, if they have relationship issues, or if they don't get along outside. If they're the best surgeon, they're going to be in that room helping the patient. And clear rules for behavior is a really big one. They have set protocols in all of hospitals, of course, but in Grey's Anatomy, you need to be clear-headed, know what the objective is and how to do it in a safe way, and then giving positive feedback and recognition and reward at the end. They struggle with this in the show, but it's really important for the attendings or the top surgeon to tell those people, you guys did a great job, good job, you saved this person's life, or your technique was really great. They do that a lot, but they do sometimes forget, and it's very noticeable in the show. The next topic is emotional intelligence, which Grey's Anatomy really struggles with this. All the characters struggle with this. Just a refresher, it's the ability to identify and manage one's own emotions as well as others' emotions. If a character in the show has something going on in their personal life, everyone will know about it. It may not be intentional, but they have a really hard time hiding it, and then they're putting all of their emotions onto either another employee or even the patient. The last thing I wanted to talk about, which I think kind of wraps everything up, is selectively revealing your weaknesses. Managers, this is really hard because as a manager or as a leader, you want to feel like you know everything. You can, solve any problem. You can do anything for your employees, but in reality that's not the case. No one is perfect, and leaders need to be able to show their coworkers and their patients that I'm not like a superwoman or superman or anything. I have struggles I go through, and this really builds the trust with your coworkers. So a great example of this I thought was Richard Weber. He is an alcoholic. He struggles with it every single day, and sometimes he lets it get the best of him, but he recognizes that this is a problem. If he needs to step out and go to a meeting or do something, then he will do that, but he's not scared to tell someone. The quote on this slide says, "The minute you see all the things you have, you see all the things that you stand to lose," which is really big in showing your weaknesses. The next example would be Owen Hunt. He was a soldier. He came back from Iraq and he had PTSD, and he put a lot of people's lives in danger, including his own, and it was really hard for him to cope with it and know that he has this mental issue. It took a really long time for him to admit it, But once he did, you know, people resonated with him. There were other employees that were suffering from the same thing and were able to relate to him and felt comfortable getting help. So there are a ton of more topics that I could have talked about within this presentation that Grey's Anatomy shows. These are just a few, but I encourage you guys all to go watch the show if you haven't. Definitely watch it and pull out some different topics that we've discussed in class and see, because once you learn about them and you know them, you'll see them. They're very evident. Yeah, but I hope you guys enjoyed this little makeshift presentation from home. See ya!